Good evening. Happy holidays, everybody. It's December. Man, that went by super fast, didn't it?
Yes.
Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, nothing worse than you can hear yourself on this. Okay, so we are going to start with a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. If you'll please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Miss Jackie, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Velardo,
Here?
Vice Mayor Evans,
Here.
Ms. Russell,
Here.
Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Redmond,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Here.
Mr. Haskins.
Here.
Make a motion to excuse Mr. Mitchell. Second.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so the first thing on the agenda tonight is a presentation, and it is by members of the Milford Masonic Lodge, and I believe the commander is here from our American Legion. Gentlemen, if you'd like to approach the podium. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. Would you mind introducing yourself, please?
My name is Larry Johnson, Milford Masonic Lodge and Milford American Legion.
I'm Darrell Hawkins. I'm the magistrate, but I'm not here for that. I'm the worshipful master at Milford Lodge number 54.
I'm Ed Walsh, commander of 450 in Milford,
Ah.
450 American Legion.
Awesome. Larry, would you mind adjusting that microphone so everybody in the audience can hear you?
See, it'll work now, Mike.
Does it give you grief when you're in session? There you go. No, it's
Mike's got ambition that it's gonna work once before he starts.
So did you bring some chili?
No, we did not. We ate it all up. Sold it all, ate it all, it's all gone, but my wife was after me to make more right away, so.
I think you might have finished pretty well.
Well, if the judging had been a little better, I would have taken it all, but second place is not bad. You know, we'll improve on it next year.
Well, that's good.
But this fellow won second place at the
I was
lodge.
the first loser.
Yeah. I was the second first loser. You know, as you know, there was two rounds of the chili, one at the Masonic Lodge, and then the second round at the American Legion, combining both the Milford Masonic Lodge and American Legion. And in this whole event, it was supported by, I just counted, 126 merchants in this area, greater Milford area. Now, people that are actually outside the city, but I did want to bring that poster and point out how much support, not just the Lodge and Legion had, but the first responders, because this whole thing was about supporting our first responders. Jamie and Mark, you know, they do such a great job, and quite frankly, you know and I know, they get so little appreciation. People are always ready to jump and criticize what they don't do, but they just don't give proper credit for what they do. So I just wanted to bring that and let you know that how well you're loved. Jamie, Mark, okay? And then what I want to do is, as the results, with the proceeds from this event, Darrell and Ed have some presentations for Jamie and Mark.
Oh, awesome. Would you like them to come up?
Please.
I don't know if Steve can zoom in on that board there.
I would be remiss not to point out that this really went off. We cooperated with it, and Larry was the primary mover and shaker on this. And he's done it for the last 2 years.
And still, they wouldn't give me first place in the
Well, I was one of the judges, and I can attest that you deserve to be in the top 3. It was delicious.
I'll have to pay you more next year.
I do my best.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I have a check for the Milford Police Department for Milford Masonic Lodge number 54, $2,388.50.
Wow.
Wow.
For what was brought in. I'm assuming this is just Lodge.
Fantastic, thank you, gentlemen.
Similar check, $2,388.50 for the Milford Community Fire Department. Oh, I cashed it.
Well, that's all we have.
Well,
Thank you very much.
thank you, and thank you for all that you do, and I'm sure on behalf of our chiefs, you know, it's much appreciated that you put this forth of an effort, because it is a lot of effort. If you don't mind, how many chili entries were there? I didn't make it to the one at
Between
the,
the two, I think there were 64 entries.
now, thankfully, I didn't have to try. At the event that I was at, I think there were 26 entries. I did not have to try 26 kinds of chili. Somebody else did and narrowed it down to, I think, 8.
We had judges from, we had people
Yeah.
competing in the chili from Dayton,
Wow.
all over Cincinnati. You know, this whole event included the whole 2nd district or 4th district of American Legion, and the 1st, 2nd, 6th, 7th, and 8th district of the Masonic Lodge, which reaches out to Portsmouth, as far east as Portsmouth, and as far north as Vandalia, I think it is.
Right.
So it included a lot of people that had the opportunity. Each year, this is, again, our second year. And keeping in mind, last year was severely, curtailed by COVID, the COVID events. This year, we were still feeling that effect. But I think next year it'll be even bigger, because we will have a year 3, and my chili will get better. That's the only reason I'm gonna do this. I want that.
Well, and how great is it when 126 businesses
Yes.
support your chili contest? And now every one of those people either gave a product from their store or a gift card. There were so many raffle items to bid on. It would have, I don't even know.
$13,000 in values.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was impressive.
Now, one thing I did want to point out, and this, I probably shouldn't, there is an individual on there, just an individual young lady that, I mean, I really felt, just so gratified that she works as a server at the Starbucks out on the Parkway. Her name is on there, I can't think of it right now. But she just, even though Starbucks itself there and up in Mulberry, they donated, she pulled money, tip money out of her pocket and donated directly.
Wow.
I mean, I thought that was very large. So I just wanted to give extra kudos to her.
Well deserved.
So,
Well, thank you for all that you do. We much appreciate you, and Merry Christmas.
thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy
Thank
New Year
you.
to all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we say it often, but it really can't be overstated. We are so blessed in Milford. We have some great fraternal organizations. We have some very charitable businesses. And this type of donation goes so far. And I think, most people understand that we do Shop with a Hero. We're doing that Thursday night. And we'll spend about how much they raised tonight just on this year's Shop with a Hero alone. But aside from that, we have the ability, because of these donations, both Mark and myself, to do training and education. Sometimes there's items of equipment we need that just aren't funded in the budget. We can do things that are just considered unconventional. We've paid for hotels for homeless people out of this fund. We've paid league fees and bought cleats or other sports equipment for some youth in the community that couldn't afford to participate otherwise. And of course, everybody knows about our Citizens Police Academy, our junior police academies, and Halloween candy, that type of stuff. But Santa Sunday, all of those programs are funded directly from donations such as these. So we are very grateful and appreciative that we have such a blessed community.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and take that if you like.
Get out of the way.
That was,
Thank you again.
all right, thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time to do a little bit of work. All right, everybody, has everyone had a chance to review the council meeting minutes from November the 16th, and is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Abstain?
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Has everyone had a chance to review, and do we have a motion to receive the October finance report?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
All right, that takes us to our first public comment section. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address council? There being none, we will move into our standing committee reports with Administrative Service Committee. Vice Mayor Evans.
All right, thank you. We met on December 1st. I called the meeting to order at 4 o'clock. Present were myself and Kim Chamberlain, Michael Doss, Pam Holbrook, Pat Worthland, and Jackie Bain. We approved the minutes from the October 13th meeting. Our first topic was the St. Andrews zone change. Assistant City Manager Pam Holbrook reviewed information for St. Andrews zone change request. The location is 564 Main Street and 568 Main Street. This is a zone change formality and has been to Planning Commission public hearing on October 13th, as well as City Council public hearing on November 16th. So the committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance rezoning 0.422 acres, more or less, of real property from I institutional district to R3 single-family residential district.
Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
And then ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63, 2021-70, and 2021-107. Finance Director Pat Worthland reviewed a list of proposed amendments to the city's appropriations. The total increases amount up to $127,900. Ms. Worthland pointed out several references to CARES state review. The Office of Budget and Management pointed out that the police taser purchases might fall in the gray area of acceptable COVID expenditures when it comes to the city's official audit next year. The state suggested that the city swap the taser expenses out for police salaries, which they would consider to be more acceptable due to the nature of police work. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance amending appropriations ordinances 2020-63, 2021-70, and 2021-107 by increasing or decreasing the individual items as listed on the attached chart, totaling $127,900.
Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
An ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Milford during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. Finance Director Pat Worthland reviewed 2022 final budgeted appropriations totaling $22,280,728. This budget will be up for council approval at tonight's meeting. The budget is the final product of the council work session. Also discussed an attached chart outlining changes to the original 2022 budget book appropriations in the net amount of $35,100. These changes were incorporated into the final appropriations ordinance up for approval. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Milford during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, in the amount of $22,280,728 as per the attached chart.
Second.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
The Riverside Park deed restrictions for walking path. City Manager Michael Doss discussed with the committee ODNR and the grant funds used for the Riverside Park walking path and parcels that must be perpetually operated and maintained solely for public recreation or natural resource purposes. The identified property cannot be converted in use of title without the prior approval of the National Park Service and the Director of the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance designating parcels 210712.001P, 210712.002P, 210712.017P, 210-710B-125A and 210-710B-125B, located and identified in Riverside Park as perpetually operated and maintained solely for public recreation or natural resource purposes.
Second.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Discussion of Planning and Community Development Coordinator position. City Manager Michael Doss discussed with the committee the Planning and Community Development Coordinator position. Pam Holbrook will be retiring in April 2022, and we will need to fill the planning and zoning aspects of her position as soon as possible so that this employee can train alongside Ms. Holbrook before she is gone. The committee reviewed and discussed the description of the position. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance creating the position of Planning and Community Development Coordinator.
Second.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Administrative Associate position. City Manager Michael Doss discussed with the members of the committee the Administrative Associate position and the job duties. The committee discussed the minimum requirements as well as what type of support this position will provide to the departments. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance creating the position of Administrative Associate.
Second.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes. And City Manager contract. City Manager Michael Doss asked the committee if there were any questions regarding his employment contract. The committee reviewed, and there were 2 corrections to be made to the agreement, which resulted in Section 3, to change from employer agrees to pay employee a lump sum cash settlement in an amount equal to 1 month's salary for each year of service, to now state the employer agrees to pay employee a lump sum cash settlement in an amount equal to 6 months' salary. Also noted that in Section 17C, to change the date from January 1st, 2019 to January 1st, 2022. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance authorizing an employment contract with Michael W. Doss as city manager for the city of Milford.
Second.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
And with no further business, we adjourned at 4:56 PM.
Thank you. City Manager report, Mr. Doss.
Thank you, Mayor. Just rounding out 2021 and getting ready to head into 2022, just a few updates. Sycamore Street Stormwater Project hit a few snags towards the end of that project, but happy to say that that project, that replacement project is now complete. High Street and Sycamore are now fully opened. I think they did a great job with that project. Just another update on our 2022 state capital budget project application. The city's preliminary scoring was very well for our proposed canoe and kayak launch at Jim Terrell Park. We kind of made that cut. So the committee is actually meeting this Friday, which I'm a part of, and we will finalize recommendations to provide to our state representatives. Our state representatives will then take that and kind of lobby on our behalf at the state assembly. Hopefully we get those put in the budget and we can have a really nice canoe and kayak launch here in the future. Just an update to council. I know we talked about this at budget time, but the property at 25 Main Street, the old Park National Bank property, we put out RFPs last year around the end of January, and then we submitted some RFPs again a little bit later on in the year, and we put a little bit of a hold on that. So just to refresh those RFPs and to advise council, advise the public, and we're going to begin solicitations again for those proposals later on this month for that property. That advertisement and deadline are scheduled for February the 11th of 2022. Give everyone an opportunity. We did have several individuals and businesses that reached out after we put the RFPs out, probably shown that property a dozen times myself. So we're going to give everyone enough ample time to get the ad, do any proposals that they want to do. We'll do it a little differently this time. We're going to open it up not just to the building or not just to the lot itself, but just the entire thing. So if someone just wants to put a business in the building or reutilize that, they'll have an opportunity. So it's going to be a wide open proposal this time. We're not just going to specific to one thing or the other, but just letting you know that that's out there. And again, we're already into 2022. Standing committee meetings, there are none at this time, but there is the potential to have a public services committee meeting before we end the year. Reminders, there's no planning commission meeting this week, but December 16th is a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting at 6 o'clock, and then our next regularly scheduled and probably last city council meeting for the year will be December 21st at 7 o'clock.
The solstice.
Thank you, Mr. Doss. This report. Hi, Chief Mills.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Good evening, Mayor, City Council. You should have my November monthly report in front of you, but I'll touch on some of the highlights. In addition to the normal monthly trainings that we do, we had some actual seated trainings this month. Sergeant West, our new sergeant, attended the OPATA, the Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy, first line supervision course that was held at Scarlet Oaks, and he also took a 4-hour course on mental health. And all members of our crime scene team received 4 hours of in-service training on blood spatter, and the entire department received training on our new records management software. We did have several notable occurrences. We had a breaking and entering offense where the suspects were identified and charged. We also had a tobacco violation at VIP Wireless that resulted from a traffic stop where an officer recovered some fruits of the crime and ended up issuing a citation to the employee at VIP Wireless for selling vaping products to persons under 21 years of age. We had 2 domestic violence arrests. We had a felony drug possession arrest that stemmed from officers responding to a report of 2 men casing vehicles at Walmart. Sergeant Kibbe was the first officer on the scene, was able to detain those subjects and ended up searching them and found some methamphetamine. That's pending lab results, but that should result in some felony drug charges. We arrested someone for attempting to pass a counterfeit bill. I believe that was at St. Vincent de Paul, of all places. And we have finally indicted William J. Pritchard. He was the suspect in the spree of indecent exposure offenses that we experienced in our downtown area earlier in the summer. But we received several count indictment on him, so that's pending plea or trial setting. In lighter news, some administrative items. Officer Lanning was recognized for reaching a benchmark of 20 years of service with the police department. Squad 2 assisted the Sem Haven administration with a mock missing person disaster drill that they have to do in compliance with their accreditation standards. MMART completed 2 shifts, and we also had 16 hours of grant-funded OVI saturation patrol throughout the month. 1 officer received a letter of counseling for a private property auto accident, and we removed all stop sticks from our vehicles, and we are ceasing the use of those as a means to terminate pursuits, just given some of the recent news stories we've seen about the injuries to law enforcement officers. As you know, we have a very strict pursuit policy anyway, but it was something that my assistant chief and I had been weighing the pros and cons of for some time, and we decided to go ahead and pull those out, so we're no longer using those. We applied for a grant with Charter Communications for some new cameras, and I think I've mentioned in the past that we also applied to the Department of Justice, National Institute of Justice rather, for some body armor replacements for 2022. Last and certainly not least, our community relations items. A big thank you to the Miami Woods Homeowners Association for providing lunch for us once during the month of November. Our Citizens Police Academy concluded on November 12th with a graduation ceremony. An officer on Squad 1 provided personal money for fuel for a homeless family they found at Walmart, sleeping in their vehicle. Squad 2 provided honor guard officers for the Veterans Day Parade in Batavia and also provided some Kiwanis gift cards to 2 needy persons. I'm not sure if I've informed you in the past, but the Kiwanis Club is another fantastic organization that donates gift cards to us that we can in turn donate to people in need that we come across. Squad 3 conducted 2 hours of late-night bike patrols in the downtown area, and as you may have noticed on Facebook, Operation Holiday Patrol has commenced.
Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, November was a busy month.
Yeah.
Some good, some bad, but it was definitely busy.
Yep.
It's typical. We see that in November and December. We did have a vehicle stolen from Lear's last night that was left running. So just a reminder to our residents to not leave your vehicles running. It's never a good idea.
Was the person apprehended?
No, not yet. No. So, as a reminder, that happens a lot this time of year. People leave their cars running with keys in it, and it only takes a minute. And it's another time of year when we see an increase in thefts from vehicles. So move it or lose it, and lock it or lose it are two of the campaigns that we're constantly promoting. So it's just a time of year when you've really got to be a little extra alert when you're out.
I think there was some theft from Villa Sanctuary too during hometown holidays.
Yes, yeah, we publicized that on Facebook and got a pretty good lead already. So
Oh, good.
Thanks to our community, they're usually great when we put those out there for giving us good tips.
Yeah.
Jamie, what time Thursday at Target?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, okay.
Sounds good, Chief. We'll see you then. Chief Baird, Fire and EMS.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
My regular report will be at the second council meeting, which I'll be absent on vacation, but one of the chiefs will cover. Just a couple of items of note. The fire board met last night and approved the department's 2022 budget. And I'll work with the city manager and the finance director to schedule maybe a work session, short work session to give you a presentation on that first couple of months of next year. And so also, the Board of Trustees at last month's meeting approved the purchase of a used ambulance from the city of St. Bernard. We have been eyeing purchasing a used ambulance to have primarily as a mechanical spare, so we don't find ourselves in a situation like we did when we sent our ambulance out for replacement or chassis, where we were going to borrow a neighbor's ambulance for a month, and we've been having it for about 4 months. So we've been kind of off again, on again with this pursuit over the past couple of years, but we identified an ambulance that was available through St. Bernard that was fairly low mileage and very good shape. The price was right, and so we're in the process of securing that. We're not going to spend a tremendous amount of additional money on it. We will re-letter it so it matches our city's lettering and everything, but it's primarily a mechanical spare. It doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that our regular ambulances do, but it'll do it just fine. And in addition, we're starting to see an increase in the number of special duty details generated by FC Cincinnati. And so we really feel more comfortable when we're able to keep both of our main ambulances in service to cover the city, and that gives us a spare one that we can use to send another crew down of people coming in working extra duty to cover the details there. So, quite frankly, the price was right. It's just from an operations standpoint, it's just a safety net, if you will. So we'll be acquiring that sometime this week and get it in service, hopefully by the beginning of the year. Santa Sunday, just a reminder to the community and to you, is Sunday, December the 19th, from 1 p.m. until 6 p.m. or until they finish canvassing the community. I want to remind those who might be watching we only cover the streets that are in the city. We get Facebook posts all the time when you're going to come up to Price Road and when you're going to be on Santa Sunday. And unfortunately, we can't cover the entire county, so but it is only for the city residents who enjoy that. And as I told you over the last meeting, you, as a group and your families are more than welcome to attend the packing, which will be on Friday before, Friday the 17th at 6 p.m. at the fire station. We have a great time for an hour, hour and a half, get all the treat bags packed and ready to roll. So that's really all I have. Any questions on the fire department?
Chief, I would just like to say publicly, since I'm not going to see you at the next council meeting, which will be my last, that I have thoroughly enjoyed working with you. I had the privilege of being here before you were here, And I've appreciated your leadership, your style of leadership, the easy transition that you made. I love the program that you have with the cadets. And I know that you and I always haven't agreed on everything 100% of the time, but I always felt like you and I could work through something and talk it out no matter what. So I did just wanted to say that I appreciate you and I appreciate our friendship, and I'm not leaving, but I wanted to say how much I enjoyed working with you.
I appreciate your remarks, and in every way, shape, or form, even though I don't live in the community, and as I told the fire board when I was hired in 2013, I can make my employer community, that's an easy transition. I can make it my community easily. I feel very strongly towards the city and try to take care of it, and I appreciate your kind remarks, and I appreciate being able to work with you through the years here, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Thanks.
Thanks. Okay, council comments. Does anybody have anything they want to share? Ben, do you want to talk about Hometown Holidays? You know, it was, I thought it was pretty well attended. I think it went pretty well.
Yeah.
You had, you know, boots on the ground the whole time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, we had talked about it, you and I, on Friday a little bit. I felt
Yeah.
like it was lighter on Black Friday.
Yeah.
But for most of the merchants and stuff I talked to, it sounded like everyone had a really good time. We had a great time at Harvest Market. It was really a good success for us, and I think it's a lovely thing that the city has done now.
Good.
For so many years.
The trolley was a hit. It took a while to catch on. I don't think people realized they could ride it for free. I think a lot of people thought initially that it was a charter. But, you know, like all things new, when you introduce them, you know, some things take off better than others. But we'll try it again next year.
And we were really blessed with the weather.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it didn't rain or,
For sure, the weather was really nice. It was really pretty. It was a nice time.
it was fun that our kids were driving at the same time.
Yeah, I text Lisa and I said, Lulu's driving the trolley and Chad's driving the fire truck. How crazy is that?
That's pretty
That
cool.
that was cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so we got our kids
generation.
involved. So, yeah. Anybody else? Okay, well, that takes us right into our ordinances and resolutions. Mr. Manier.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2021-111, an ordinance rezoning 0.422 acres, more or less, of real property from I institutional district to R3 single-family residential district. Whereas St. Andrew's Church is the owner of approximately 0.422 acres of real property, more or less, located within the city of Milford, located at and commonly known as 564 Main Street, parcels 210730E010, 210730E011, 210730E012. Whereas St. Andrew's Church has requested zoning said property be changed from I institutional district to R3 single-family residential district, and whereas the Planning Commission for the city of Milford held a public hearing on the application on October 13, 2021, and at the conclusion of the hearing voted to recommend approval of said request for rezoning. And whereas the Council of City of Milford held a public hearing to consider such request on November 16, 2021, and voted to approve the recommendation of the Planning Commission. And whereas the Council of City of Milford believes that said zone change would be in the best interest of the citizens of the City of Milford and not detrimental to the common welfare, now therefore be ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Section 1. The zoning map incorporated in and made a part of Ordinance 99/1966, and as subsequently amended shall be, and the same hereby is, revised and amended by changing the zoning of the 0.42 acres of real property owned by St. Andrew's Church, parcels 210730-010, 210730-011, 210730-012, which property is more particularly described on the attachment here too, marked at Exhibit A, to R3 residential, single-family residential district. All attachments hereto shall be fully incorporated here and made a part hereof by reference pursuant to Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Pursuant to, in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance should become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-111, an ordinance rezoning 0.42 acres, more or less, of real property from I institutional district to R3 single-family residential district.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-112, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63, 2021-70, and 2021-107. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford. Section 1, the council of the city of Milford hereby authorize the city finance director to amend appropriation ordinances 2020-63, 2021-70, and 2021-107 by increasing or decreasing the individual items as set forth and listed on the chart attached here to and fully incorporated herein pursuant to section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Said amendments total $127,900. Section 2, pursuant to, in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance should become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-112, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63, 2021-70, and 2021-107.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-113, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Milford during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford. Section 1, the council of the city of Milford hereby sets aside and appropriates for and during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, the sum set forth in the attachment hereto identified as permanent appropriations for the city of Milford, Ohio for 2022, which attachment is incorporated herein and made a part hereof as if fully rewritten herein pursuant to in accordance with section 12.03 of the Charter of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio. Section 2, pursuant to in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance will become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-113, an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Milford during the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2022.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-114, an ordinance establishing deed restrictions for the Riverside Park walking path, now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford. Section 1, the council of city of Milford hereby designates that the following parcels identified as the Riverside Park walking path be perpetually operated and maintained solely for public recreational or natural resource purposes: 2107-12 OOP, 2107-12 002P, 2107-12 017P, 2107-10B, 125A, 2107-10B, 125B. Section 2, pursuant to, in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-114, an ordinance establishing deed restrictions for the Riverside Park walking path.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-115, an ordinance creating a position of Planning Community Development Coordinator, now therefore be ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford. Section 1, the Council of City of Milford hereby creates a position of Planning and Community Development Coordinator. The position description is attached hereto and incorporated herein. Section 2, pursuant to, in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance should become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-115, an ordinance creating a position of Planning and Community Development Coordinator.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-116, ordinance creating a position of administrative associate, now therefore be ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford. Section 1, the council of the city of Milford hereby creates position of administrative associate. The position description is attached here to and incorporated herein. Section 2, pursuant to in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-116, ordinance creating a position of administrative associate.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond? Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-117, ordinance authorizing an employment contract with Michael W. Doss as city manager for the city of Milford, now therefore be ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford. Section 1, the council of the city of Milford pursuant to in accordance with section 4.01 of the Milford City Charter hereby authorizes the mayor of the city of Milford to execute the contract between the city of Milford and Michael W. Doss as Milford city manager for 3 years, effective January 1st, 2022. The contract is attached here to and fully incorporated herein, as if fully rewritten herein pursuant to in accordance with section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, pursuant to in accordance with section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by city council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-117, ordinance authorizing employment of contract with Michael W. Doss as city manager for the city of Milford.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes. All right, everybody. I forgot one thing. Cohatch is having their ribbon cutting Friday at 3:30. I would love to see everybody there. That's a big deal for them. And then there's a party afterwards. I think that was invite only. But Cohatch is officially opening. Ribbon cutting is 3:30, open to the public at that time. Does anybody have anything else? How about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Somebody.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
All right. Good evening to everybody on the 21st. And remember, shop local. Thank you.